Well, I'm down here at the boat dock. That water's so calm. Oh my goodness. Great day to fish. The wind's not blowing. Sorry about that. I got to get down to the lake. There's geese everywhere. Can't see them very well from back here, but there's geese everywhere out here in the park. All out there on the water. Some swimming right there close to the bank. Let's go try it from the little walkway first. There they go. See if I can get a close-up of them. He doesn't know what to think. Two of them over there. And there's like 3 or 4 right there. I didn't think to bring breadcrumbs or anything to feed them. That was my kids' favorite thing to do down here, was bring breadcrumbs and feed the ducks, as they called it, but they're actually geese. Oh, let me get that thing back to normal. It'll drive you credit. They'll probably take off as I get closer. They're used to people feeding them, though. They're kind of big. Man, how would you like one of those on your Thanksgiving dinner table? Roasted duck. Yeah, I can fish off the little walkway here. This is where our fishing pier used to be. They took all the railings down except for the walkway and turned it into a boat dock. And most of the time it's so far out of the water you can't use it for a boat dock because you can't get from the boat to the dock. I mean, I wish they'd put the railings back up and let us use it as a fishing pier again. But yeah, I'm going to fish right off here. I got my tackle box in the car. Not bringing it out here. Set my camera up down here. See if I can get a hook baited. I didn't think to bring a cloth or anything. if we get any bites. Sure is a beautiful day out here today. That sun is not so hot. I don't know how deep it is right out there now, because that water's pretty low. Oh, those geese are just everywhere. They were taking off out there a while ago. There's one there, big one. Yeah, that's one thing we got all over this lake is geese. And some of these people don't realize it, that they get in trouble if they kill one. We had some guys out here one day, and look at that, coming in for a landing. Coming down to see if he can get him a fish. It's exactly what he was doing. So neat how they can fly. Look how calm that water is. I gotta watch my pole because it keeps getting around there on the other side, and I don't want it to go on that other side of the pier. Let it stay right there for a minute or two. See what happens. And people go out in the boat, and then they try to get up as close to the bank as they can to fish. So I said, well, why need a boat? I mean, I know there's places I can't get to on foot, but I can fish up close to the bank around here and not need a boat. Man, I just saw one come up to the top. He's after my bait. I hope it's a big catfish. He followed it from out there a while ago when I reeled it in. So let's see if he tries to take it. I've got tons of lures and worms and you name it in that tackle box I've never even tried to use. I've always fished with live bait or cut bait or but I figured as calm as the wind is today, it's a good time to fish. We used to go out in a boat because before we were divorced, we had a big bass boat that we'd go out in every Sunday, or at least every week, once every weekend, and fish this lake. It's about a 30-mile long lake. So there's quite a few places around it that you can fish. Well, I don't know what that was coming after my bait, but he's not going to take it, doesn't look like. If he is, he's taking his time at it. I hear those geese everywhere. That was a big fish that come up after it. I don't know why he's not taking it. He chased it, but that's about it. Yeah, this is only a couple of minutes from my house, so I can even walk down here, but I wouldn't be able to carry all my stuff if I walked. So. Something's nibbling on it. I figured if I didn't catch one big enough to eat, maybe able to catch one big enough to use as fertilizer in my buckets. But I know that was a big old fish that was coming after that while ago. But he just didn't want to take it. And that current is running just enough to try to take my hook into the pier on the line over that way. Probably ought to throw it out in front of it. I think next time I come, I'm going to bring my little pole and catch me some small live bait to go on the hook. That's usually what I do, and I catch some pretty big fish that way. I tell you, watching these geese is better than fishing sometimes. That pretty white one out there. Where'd he go? There he is. Look at there. Come in for a smooth landing. Now that's a big goose or duck. It's like a swan almost. I'm not sure what that is. There went another one. Both of them come in for a landing. There's a little one coming in. It's neat how they can just sit there. Come some more flying in. Look at there. They looking for dinner. How neat. Coming in for a landing over there. There's another one. Those things are pretty big. They're about 12 to 15 pound birds, I tell you. If even more than that. They're pretty good sized birds, I tell you. They'd make you a hunk of a bird for your Thanksgiving dinner table. But yeah, we had some guys out on the other side of the lake one day when I was over there fishing. And this was a few years ago. They were out in the water catching them. And they'd kill them and cook them. They didn't realize they could be fined big time for doing that, because it's illegal to kill these birds or catch them. Or at least it is here anyway. They're basically protected here. I guess that's why we see so many of them. It's definitely birds everywhere. And it gives you something to watch other than your cork or your line while you're fishing, is to watch the birds flying around, or the geese, the ducks, the swans, or whatever they are. But they are pretty. There's one flying in. Looks like he's coming down for a landing too. There's 5 or 6 of them out there already. Oh, he decided he'd make another circle. Is that him coming back around? I think he's looking for fish. He's looking for lunch. Finds one, he'll come down and scoop him up. Here he goes. Maybe he's, nope, not quite. Like he's looking for lunch. Just hasn't found him yet. He decided he'd just float around for a while. Now I think I'm going to switch sides with my line. Get this back down to normal. Put my line on the other side. There's something that keeps following it. It just come up. Just come up when I started reeling it away. They're just not biting it for some reason. You just can't get the full effect of how big these birds are. They are huge. They'd be too big for any of the pans I've got. My roasting pan would not hold one of them things. They're too big. I said 12 to 15 pound. No, those would be like a 25 pound or 30 pound bird right there. Those are big. There's a big one over there. Yep, this is part of the subdivision I live in. This is our boat ramp, our boat dock, fishing pier. And there's another spot further down that's called the Point that you can fish off of. I just haven't had any much luck over there. We caught a bunch of carp, but not much of anything else over on that side. We used to bait this section down here with bales of hay and different things, and it would draw the big fish in. But that hasn't been done in many years, and I'm sure they cleaned all that out when they rebuilt the dock here. Yeah, I got to catch me some bait fish is what I need to do, and I didn't bring my other line with me. But there's so many rocks here. I've learned that you can't fish on the bottom unless you use some kind of cork to keep your line straight up, because when you go to pull your line out of the water, it gets hung on those rocks. And you've lost your line every time you cast out. So I learned the trick of using a cork. That way, even if I'm fishing off the bottom, my line is straight up. And when I go to pull my line in, I can't catch him. There he is. When I go to pull my line out of the water, it comes up. It doesn't snag on those rocks down there. I think they're so pretty. Coming in for landing. Join his other friends over there. Yeah, but as calm as it is out here, something ought to bite. I may have waited too late in the morning. Comes another one. Don't know if he's going to land, but he's gone on to the other side. Isn't that a big bird? Look at that. That's got to be 35, 40 pounds of bird right there. You'd have to cook him on open fire. I think you'd get him in the oven. Looks like he's going to do an about face, or he's coming this way. He's turn again. Comes another big one. Can't find him. There he is. There's about 9 or 10 of them out there across the lake in the water at different spots. Look at that. Well, I didn't realize I was going to come down here and film the birds this morning. I figured I would have caught a fish by now, but no such luck. I don't even think I got a bite over here on this side. I'm going to have to change it. Don't really need a chair. I got a bucket. Throw it back over here. At least I was getting a few nibbles and I could see the big old fish coming up to the top whenever I reeled in my line a while ago. But no telling where he's at now. It's just a cloudy, overcast day. It's nice. The weather's comfortable. Not cold, it's not hot. If the fish was just biting now, it'd be perfect. You know, maybe one of them will get on there in a minute. great old big fish and just take it for a ride. I'd love to reel a great old big one in. I mean, I can see the fish. They're coming up to the top and circling around, and then they go back down, but they're not biting much. Usually by now my bait would have been gone. My bait's still on there. Maybe I'll get a big one on there in a minute. They'll bite and let me catch them just to make me get off of my seat so I can put my fish in my bucket. Or I might go over there on the other side and fish off the rocks. Yep, when you're fishing, you never know what you're going to get. May get something and you may not. It's like I got somebody else come down here to either fish or do something. I don't see it. We're over there looking at the ducks. Well, I think I'm going to move over to the other side. Maybe go fish off some of the rocks. Well, can't get down there like you used to. So I don't know if that's going to be a good idea or not. Put my bucket over here as a pole holder. Hung in the trees. them fish just jumped over there. They come up to the top of the water and circle around. See if something bites it out there where it's at now. I probably should have come earlier or waited till later on this evening, because it seems like they bite better here early or late, not so much in the middle of the day. But it just looked like good fishing weather today. Looks like I would probably be able to catch a duck or a geese today than a fish. Look at that. All kind of ducks, geese. I would have loved to have lived down here on the water like this, and we thought about it when we first moved here years ago. But my son was just a little toddler. He was hardly a year old, or a year and a half old, something like that. And I was afraid of the snakes. I said I'd be scared to death to turn my kids loose in the yard, afraid they'd get on a snake. And up where I'm at, I'm not bothered with snakes. The first year or two we lived here, I saw one or two, but they were usually out on the street, and they were already dead where a car or something had run into them. And I said, well, you know, the water's close enough, I can come fishing if I want to. It's a whole, and I'm sorry about that, I moved this camera too fast. Boat going through. My son used to have like a 12-man boat, speedboat. Oh, it was a beautiful boat, big boat. We used to take it out all the time. He'd come over, and a lot of times he'd leave it parked at my house so he didn't have to haul it all the way back to Joshua where he lived. That way it wasn't such a strain on the truck to haul it. And then he'd put it in the water right down here, or either on 144 at the marina. Depends on how deep the water was at the time. Yeah, there just ain't nothing gonna bite today, don't look like. Of course, I'm not fishing in the same spot I was in when I come down here before. The water is a little bit deeper than it was since we got all that rain. And like I said, all those homes right there across from the lake, that used to be a big old cow pasture. And that was when my kids were small. They said, Mama, look over there, there's cows over there. I said, yeah, it's a big old cow pasture. But I said, just wait, it's not going to be too many years that'll be a high dollar development over there. Oh no, Mom, it's just a cow pasture. I said, wait and see. I said, it's right here on this lake bank. There's going to be high dollar homes over there. They're not going to let that prime real estate go to waste. They'll have nice homes built right up on the water. And sure enough, not too many years later, they did. The subdivision I'm in is a mixture. It was basically put in as a retirement type community for mobile homes, campers, A-frames. And there was a few brick homes there. Now they're putting up homes left and right in my subdivision. Brick homes, wood frame homes like the one across the street from me. So no, I don't live in a trailer park. Never have and never will, but yeah, I was one of the first people to move into this community. And like I said, back when I moved here, there was mostly mobile homes. Now there's manufactured homes, great big ones. There's, like I said, brick homes, A-frame homes, wood frame homes, you name it, going up everywhere. And there's a minimum size on them. It's got to be, what was it? I think it's back up to like 920 square feet, minimum size for a home. Whether it's a mobile home, manufactured home, or site-built home. And I think mine falls just under that. Mine's like 840 square feet. Well, I'm watching my bobber out there, and it's just not doing nothing. It's just floating. Give it a little while longer, and then I may move further in another spot and see what happens. Like I said, I've not done very good toward the middle of the day. Usually it's better early in the morning or late in the evening, you know, just about dark. I think that's their feeding time. So that's usually the best time to try to catch a fish. But I just felt like coming down here. It was so nice. Such a nice day to be out here on the water. My daughter always laughed at me the way I said water. I don't know why. She says, "Mom, say water." And I'd say it and she'd laugh. It's like, okay, what's the big deal? I figured I said water just like everybody else did, but maybe I don't. But that's my hillbilly southern accent, I guess. And the short few years we lived in New York, I sound like a 100% Yankee. Because that's where my mom was from. So we spent a lot of time going back and forth to New York, or either we lived up there for several years until my dad got out of the Navy. And that's when we moved back to North Carolina and built the two-story house that's there now. And then they teased me and said, "Oh, Yankee, Yankee, Yankee." So I tried hard to lose my Yankee drawl, you know, and ever since I've talked purely Southern. Purely Southern. I said, well, you listen to people talk that are from Britain or from Australia, England, and where their accents, you think they're educated. Well, hey, that's an accent just like mine is. That doesn't mean like I'm a dumb hick from the South. I've got a college degree, so don't think I'm totally stupid. Well, I'm going to flip it back around and try over here, I think. Let's see what happens. I'll get hung up in the trees. See what happens out here. Not even getting a bite from a turtle today. Try it on this side. Put it down right there for a second. I can sit down and watch my bobber from here. I don't guess you can see it though. You can see where I was. It'll get you just standing there though. I usually catch turtles on this side. I mean, I've caught a couple of little catfish, but I just don't think anything is biting today, not even the turtles. I saw a turtle come up over there a while ago. Saw his head poke up above the water and then he went back down. I'd be happy to catch a turtle right now, but the only thing is, I'd probably have to cut my line and lose my hook if I caught one. Because I'm not messing with no turtle. These snapping turtles will take your finger off. Sure smells fishy out here. I don't think there's anything even smelling of that bait. I gotta get me some live bait. Now I know that turtle, he's about 10 feet away from my bobber right now. He smells my bait. He's headed for my hook. I just know he is. And I know I said I'd settle to catch a turtle, but I don't really want to catch a turtle. Such a nice day to be out here. Birds are just flying everywhere overhead. I'm going to have to flip this around. I want to show you. Look at them on the roof over there. It's about 6 or 7 of them on the roof. I don't know what kind of birds they are. But they just flew over and landed on that roof like they belong there. I don't know if they're buzzards, crows, what those things are. I haven't been up close enough to be able to tell. Let's go borrow a boat. Yeah, I don't need a boat. One thing we don't have a shortage of is geese, ducks, birds, you name it over here. They're all over this lake. I could just imagine living in one of these houses right on the water. I could just come out in my backyard and fish all day if I wanted to. But I think these people are so tired of it, they don't even fish anymore. Of course, I imagine most of them are working right now. They don't like my bait today, y'all. You'll have to use a different bait next time. They fly over there and land on the grass. On the poles. Boy, those ducks are going crazy. Geese. Just making a racket. Trying to find that geese out there. There he is. Or whatever he is, he's a big one. Whatever he is, he's a big one. Try it in that spot. I don't get any bites there. I'm probably going to call it a day and come back another time. And it won't be in the middle of the day. It'll be early in the morning. It'll be late in the evening. I hear something over there. It sounds just like a hog grunting. And I know it ain't no hog. It's some kind of fish or frog or something. Try to keep him in view right there. I don't know if the camera's picking up that sound, but it sounds like hogs grunting, and I know it's not hogs. I'm trying to get them both in there. It's neat just to sit here and watch these birds. And listen to them. If any of you watching this video know what kind of ducks or geese or whatever these are, let me know, because there's all different kinds. There's these coming by now that have these big old long beaks. And then there's some that actually look like a duck. There's some that are geese. And then, like I said, there's some that I don't know what they are. They're just birds to me. What is that? Sound like hogs grunting. Well, I'm still not getting any bites, y'all. And I've been at it for about an hour now, so I think I'm liable to call it. What is that making that sound? I know it's some kind of bird or... Well, I might reel in my line and try to show you some of the scenery from here to my house. Let me get my line in. There's another big old, well, there's 3 or 4 of them just came out there since I got up and moved my line. Isn't that amazing how they just sit on the water and just float? We sure couldn't do that. We'd sink to the bottom. That sound is coming from over at that fishing pier or boat dock. But you can't see what it is. I don't know what it is over there. It's got to be some of these ducks or geese or something. They're making an awful racket. It looks so peaceful. Yeah, I'm going to try to get my line to the water without making y'all totally dizzy. Didn't realize I had it set on a wider zoom. I'll get my pole put in the car. Look down there, there's a fish. Somebody must have caught it and threw it back and he didn't make it. There are fish in this water. They say there's catfish as big as a Volkswagen. We went out in the boat one time and went over close to one of the bridges on the other side of town. And threw my line in the water, and all of a sudden something bit it. Pull that line under the boat, double my rod and reel, and I thought it was going to break my reel or my rod in half, and I couldn't pull it up. It's like a big old cat got on that line, took it to the bottom, and just stayed there. and it was so heavy I couldn't budge it. I couldn't pull it up. I couldn't reel my line in. And I teased my daughter because she was taking diving lessons at that time. And I told her, I said, Margaret, just jump right in that water and go down there and see what's on my hook. She looked at me like, Mama, you've lost your mind. I mean, she knew good and well I was teasing her. I didn't mean for her to jump in that water and go down to the bottom and see what was on my hook. I mean, she was probably, I don't know, 8 or 9, 10 years old at that time, because she could swim. Of course, my son wasn't very old at all. There's like 6 years difference between them, and he's younger. Now, I don't know how this will work. But, yeah, this is the boat ramp area. And you can see houses are all along it, on each side of the parking lot here. And I don't know if I'm going to be able to fix my camera. To where you might be able to see anything. Because I got to put it down just to put my seatbelt on and start the car. It feels kind of misty, like there's moisture in the air. I think it's maybe going to rain today, or maybe there's a possibility of rain today. Turn that off. But this is leaving the boat ramp. And I'm going to take you down on the other side that's called the point. And it's not far at all. I just can't drive fast because they got speed bumps. Oh. Yep. Oh, I got speed bumps, so you don't want to tear your alignment up in your car to hit those things very fast. But see, there's a nice home. That's one of, hasn't been built too long. Big 2-story house. And there's what's on the other side. Big house. It's kind of hard to maneuver this. Yeah, but they have nice homes down here on the lake, right on the water bank. And like I said, they're adding them up close to where I'm at now. Somebody had his truck. They had a shipping container dropped off there. I wonder what they're going to do with it. Turn it into a storage building or something, probably. But you can see there's some nice homes down here. And they've been here ever since I've lived here. They're not new ones. They always had nicer homes right on the lake bank than up here. But see, here's the point. It's another little parking area. You can fish out there on that side, which is like a little inlet around the homes over there. Or you can fish over here on this side on the open lake side. And I'm not showing a very good picture in the car. Sorry about that. My son-in-law asked me one time when he saw that house there, he said, well, is that the community center for Comanche Harbor? I said, no, that's a private residence right there. Nice, isn't it? And that one over there too, that's a private residence. It's not a community center. And you ought to see the house they've got now. It looks like it could be a community center. $500,000 home. See all those homes out there? Now, I'll show you. I can't get over about 20 miles an hour, but it's just a couple of minutes from here to my house. Because it's all in the same subdivision. I just live closer up to the gate. They're way down on the opposite side of the... Yeah, we got a 20-mile-per-hour speed limit in here. And like I said, we got speed bumps, so you can't go very fast. And I can't get a picture of everything. Nice brick home there. And there's nice homes on this side over toward the water. I don't guess you can see them though. Nice homes on either side, lakeside and the right side over here. These are all new ones that have went up. So no, I don't live in a mobile home park. This is a resort community. Tell by the boats and everything else in people's yard. And like I said, we had a boat in our yard too till I was divorced, and my ex got custody of our boat, our bass boat. Of course, I probably wouldn't take it out by myself anyway. And we still have a lot of mobile homes in here. Several mobile homes up that street. And some people have remodeled the mobile home and built to it. And to look at it now, you would think it was a big 2-story brick home. You'd never know there was ever a mobile home there. It's like they're clearing that lot, fixing to build on it. Well, I just can't show you everything in Drive, so. It's a mobile home right there. It's a big one too, it's bigger than mine. And see, they're cleaning that lot. They're fixing to build there. Looks like they've dug down to put in a foundation. And I got a car behind me. That's a new one right there. Brick home over here has been there for ages. Can't see it. Because I gotta watch where I'm going. I don't want to wreck my car. We have a tennis court, boat ramp, park area. We've got a clubhouse. We did have a big swimming pool. We had the biggest swimming pool in the whole county. But over the years it cracked and they didn't want to invest the money into fixing it. So they filled it in with dirt and now it's a park. Look at that house. Sorry about that, y'all. I can't show you very well. The fuck are you doing, you asshole? Excuse my language. But that's one of the purple people that they put speed bumps out for, that want to speed up the street. He passed me on the right to get by me and then sped off in front of me. And see, we're back at my house. There's the house across the street that they just built, and there's mine. And with that, I think I'm going to call this video a day. Please like, share, and subscribe to my video. Have a blessed day, and I'll see you on my next video.